Okay, hello everyone. My name is Kevin Blackman from the Epic Earth Prediction Innovation Center, and this video tutorial is going to basically walk us through creating the infrastructure to run the UFS SRW application in the cloud. What we've done is we've put together some scripts that utilizes a framework called Packer, and what it really does is it's a really clean way to walk through this video, and we're going to run around 12 commands, and we're going to get this all done in about 5 minutes. And we're going to be able to create the entire infrastructure from scratch with all of the packages loaded. So you'll have spack-stack, which handle all of your libraries. You'll have all the application code on there, and it'll all be built and ready to run in the cloud. So this first video is going to create all the infrastructure, and we can really swap these files out really easily. So this first video is really going to focus on creating the infrastructure, and we're going to have a second video that follows really shortly, which is running the applications, and they'll be application specific. So the first one will be on SRW, and then we'll have other videos to follow. But as you'll see, we'll kind of talk about how easy it is to kind of swap out components in this Packer script to build out other applications. So when others come online, when we have the hurricane application, when we have medium range weather and others, we'll be able to kind of easily swap those out. So without further ado, we'll get started. So once you come into your account, you're really just going to need to click on EC2. So I have a shortcut here. If you come up here, you can click on EC2 and it'll allow you to go there. We'll click on instances, and we're just going to launch a basic instance. I mean, you'll see I really don't change much. I will call this launch instance. It'll be AWS as the default. It'll be a micro. I already have a key pair, so I'm going to choose my key pair. You can really just click a new one, and it'll save it to your desktop, and you can drop it on your desktop because that is the point that we're going to be picking the key pair up. But again, for this video, I already have one, and I'm going to change nothing else. I'm just going to launch this because we're just going to create a really small instance to handle basically running all of our business logic. Okay, so I'll come back to the dashboard and refresh a couple times. It'll take probably 20 seconds, 30 seconds to start up here pretty quick. And there we go. So I'm going to check it. I'm going to click connect, and I'm going to click on the tab that says SSH client, and I'm going to copy this example. I'm running on a Mac, so it'll just allow me to SSH into it. If you're on a PC, you can use PuTTY or anything else, and it's really the same procedure. So I'm going to SSH into this box. I'm going to click yes. And then, as you can see, I'm in. So that's it, pretty straightforward. From here, I'm going to attach a link or a cheat sheet to really these commands, and this is all we're gonna do. We're gonna run about 11 commands, and we're gonna talk a little bit along the way about what we're doing. So Git doesn't come pre-installed, so I'm gonna put Git on here. I'm gonna do some updates. Okay, I'm going to install Packer. Okay, all set. And now I'm going to download the repo. So you can see I'm going to download, and then I'm going to CD in. And then I'm going to just use Vim, so just VI into the file. And we'll kind of just walk through it. So there's a bunch of variables. Really what Packer allows you to do is, it doesn't matter what cloud service provider. So if you're AWS, if you're Azure, if you're GCP, there's a lot of configurations that are different, but there are a lot that are the same. So what it allows you to do is kind of put all those in there, and you can just kind of modify what you need to and kind of run it on any of the cloud service providers. So it's a great kind of multi-cloud tool. So this is going to basically put the AMI in each region. For costs, you probably just want to put it in one region. So I'll just put this in US East 1. The instance type is going to be C6i 2XL, and our head nodes will be a 24XL. So it'll be able to consume it pretty quickly. And it's going to be Ubuntu as the operating system. And you can see that we'll eventually add Azure and GCP configurations on there. And the first thing I'm going to go down to is the date. You can pass it in as a variable, or you can modify it just kind of for ease. I'm going to go ahead and modify it. So I'll put just June 2nd because that's today's date. Obviously you can put anything in there, and there's one more date variable. So same thing here, I'll put 2 June. And I kind of walk through that. So the few things you'll need to change is you'll have to edit the date piece, and then you'll have to edit the subnet. So we have our default subnet. That's just going to change. You have to put a public default subnet in there. So it's pretty easy to add that, and you can change it to yours. To do that, if you just go to VPC, and then you can click on subnets, and you can click on one of your public subnets, and you will add the subnet ID. So pretty straightforward. So when I'm done, that's all I'm going to change. I'm just going to do escape, shift ZZ to save. And now I'm going to go on the next step. So I'm going to, basically we have to put certs on this box to allow us to create an AMI in our account. So I'm going to type in AWS configure, and I'm going to go to IAM, and I'm going to create an access key. So I went to IAM users. Under the security credentials tab, I'm going to click create access key, and it's just going to be a CLI key. I'm going to click next after I understand, and create access key. And I'll just keep this up here for now because I'm going to delete it as soon as this video is over. So the first thing it's going to ask me for when I click AWS configure is it's going to ask me for the access key. So I'm going to paste it in, hit enter. I'm also going to do the secrets key, paste it in, enter. And then I'm going to put my region, which for this one is going to be US East 1. Okay, and now I'm all set. This box now has the configurations that are needed. So the last thing I'm going to do is click Packer build, SRW cluster, and launch. And it's building it. So I just built it a little bit before this video. As you can see, it took 1 hour and 23 minutes to complete, and it'll basically go ahead and install those AMIs. So in the same EC2, I'll click AMIs, and you can see that this one right here, which I called 2 June 2023, obviously we called ours just 2 June, but it actually completed, and it put a configuration in there that has everything SRW related. So the very last piece in this cluster script right here is it says go ahead and run this SRW cluster start script. And what happens there is I go to scripts and I go to cluster start script, and it actually starts building out everything that's needed to run SRW, which includes spack-stack. It includes LMOD adding all the libraries, and eventually at the end, it goes ahead and installs SRW. So when you're done, you have spack-stack, you have everything that's ready to build the application, and it's sitting on a base image. So the only thing we need to do is create a P cluster or kind of a batch push, and we'll go over in the next video running both P cluster as well as the ability to actually run the application, and that'll just be the second part. So again, as you can see at the end of this, you have an image that has everything that is needed to run SRW loaded. And we did it in about 11 commands. So this is a really clean way to build out the infrastructure that's needed and kind of simplify the process. So I will attach this documentation to the video as well as some additional comments on there. And thanks everyone for your time.